Alright, so hello, my name is Natasha Adinda. That's my real name. Right there, I just said it. So, to my Twitter followers, most of you know me as Kazoo or Cass, aka the person who talks about Buff Taiga a lot. So, I finally did this after a lot of procrastination. And yeah, I asked my Twitter followers to ask me questions. Mostly it is for an assignment. And before we start and asking some of the questions, I really hope that this room is actually bright enough so y'all could actually see me. The lightning here, I don't think it's really that good, but yeah. So I'm gonna go through this the ask chronolog in order of which one shows up first. So I'm, I'm right now scrolling through it, and we got our first question from my good friend Dove. So, what matters more, happiness or comfort? To me, actually, both are actually something matters that some matters to me. So, can I take both as the answer? If I can, then both. If not, then comfort. Another one is if you could get one wish, what would it be? That's actually I don't know how to answer that, but uh, maybe ask for more wish. I don't know. And the third one, what is your favorite thing to do on free time? Mostly lay around on my bed, scrolling through the internet or playing some games or drawing if I have the motivation to do so. Mostly that. Alright, moving on, we have another question from my friend Twilly. What do you plan to do after school? Well, mostly college. Just that. Uh, I still really don't know. Alright. Next we have from my good friend whose name I don't want to mention just to keep them safe, okay? So who are the best yoke guy dads? So context here, yoke guy is for yokai, as in yokai what? So who's the best dad? I don't know, but Steve Jobs is a good dad. I can't remember much. It's been a long time since the last time I talked about anything yokai watch, so I don't really remember much. But Steve Jobs is a good dad. All right, another question from my friend Dove again. Why does graphite radiate sexy aura? Dove, you should have known this. It's graphite. Of course, he radiates sexy aura. He's the sexiest dragons of all dragons. All right. Now this one is from my best friend Newt. Buff Tiger or Buff Kyria? You know it's going to. You do know very well that's the answer is going to be Buff Tiger. He's my dad after all. All right, another one from Newt. What makes you happy? What makes me happy, Newt? Your presence. I hope you're aligned. I hope you're able to see this, Newt, because I love you. All right, now moving on, we have a question from Maury. Where do you want to see yourself in 10 years? I don't know. I don't think much about the future, at least for now. And also not in like 10 years or something, like not very far away. I still don't know. All right, all right then. We have one question from Aki. What are you passionate about the most? I'm mostly very passionate about games and drawings. That's what I'm really most passionate about. I do some, well, I do to like to write sometimes, but that's another story. Okay, moving on. We got some, we got another question. Do you get nightmares? If so, what was the scariest one to you? I, nightmares. I can't really remember much of dreams that I had, but it's not exactly a nightmare, but just a really, really weird dream. So I was in a park, an open park, and that park there's one of those picnic table, and then there's a bowl over there, and what's inside of it? Gummy worms. Yeah, lots of gummy worms. So I saw myself eating it, and all of a sudden, when I looked back to the bowl, all of those gummy worms started to move on its own, and then the next thing I know is that those gummy worms all of a sudden are like all over the place. It's everywhere, and it's big too. So that's like the closest thing, I guess. It's not really that scary, but it's just so weird. And I've that dream. It's been on my mind for like years now. Can't get it out of my head. It's just really that weird that it's pretty much written on a stone in my head. Yeah, it's a weird dream, but it happens, and dreams are like that. So yeah. All right. Here's we are now moving on to the next person. This person have a lot of questions, like a lot. So I'm going to go out through all of that because I keep my promises. All right. So what's your favorite kind of animal? Why? Well, my favorite animal is mostly felines, specifically cats and tigers. Cats is something I've liked since my childhood. I have a plushie of it once and it's lost now actually, and I miss them so much. I don't know where it went, but I got it from a bank, which when I was very little, that the set doll used to be a tiger, but the stripes fades away after it's being washed, and then it's pretty much became a cat. As for tigers, well, most of my followers should already know about Taiga, Hanaya Taiga from Kamen Rider X8, which in his name is literally Taiga, which means tiger in Japanese, well, Japanese pronunciation. So yeah, that's pretty much where my love for tigers came from. It's all because of one show that ruins my life, and I love it so much. Alright, another one. If you could have any one superpower, what would it be? So yeah, I know having superpowers that like super strength, or you could fly, or like laser vision, or well, basically superpower in general are really great to have. But if I could choose one, that would be transformation. Why? Well, I know that for once there is a character from Final Fantasy VII that have that kind of power, as in transform into a monster and uses those monsters' abilities. Yeah, I want that kind of power. It'd be pretty cool. Alright. If you had $1 billion, what would you do with it? I don't know. I mean, I am pretty good at saving my money, but sometimes I just don't know what to do with my money. Most of the time, it's to buy things that I want, like comic books. Like, hey, I just bought these two things recently, as in Sunday, last week Sunday. So yeah, mostly the things that I'm interested in. Okay, what's your favorite color slash least favorite? My favorite has to be purple. It's such a good color. It goes well with everything. As for Luis, I don't know. Well, yeah, I really don't know. Alright, moving on. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? No, no, don't you ask me that question. I don't know. Maybe egg, I guess. I go with egg. Can you explain a paradox with an example? Like the two gods and one place to be clear. Okay, sorry, there might be a little cut from the last point here, so that was my phone acting up for a bit. So continuing, can you explain a paradox with an example? I really don't know about time traveling and time paradoxes. It's a concept that is not really around my grasp. And I still don't know much about it. Like with Kamen Rider Geo right now, it's all about that. And every time I watch it, it's just, well, I just turn my brain off, so it's dumb fun. Okay, do you have any pets? What are their names? Do you have a story of them that explain their behavior? Well, not exactly my pet, but the family's pet. We have a blue tongue lizard named Blue Tongue, which it's not really the name I came up with, but it's my brother's. He came up with that, so which basically just the combination of blue and tongue, basically blue tongue. And as for the behaviors, I really don't know. Okay, so what's your least favorite troop in TV? My least favorite troop on TV are I don't know. I really don't know. I don't really watch much of TV shows, so I usually just and I enjoy anything I enjoy. If I don't like it, I just really don't mind it. Like except if those things are like crosses the line, then I might mind it. But is it if it's something that doesn't really out that bothersome or anything, I just ignore it. Okay, move. Continuing, if you could only eat one kind of food for the rest of your life, like same breakfast, same lunch, dinner, and dessert, but each meal could be different, what will it be? For breakfast, I would like some fried rice because it's good stuff. And for lunch, and both lunch and dinner, I could have cream soup, my favorite food. It's so good. And for dessert, I don't know, there's a lot of desserts I like, but I guess I could go with ice cream, vanilla specifically. Yeah, I'm a normie. Alright, so do you have any funny stories you were involved in you wouldn't mind sharing? If so, what are they? Funny stories. Well, it's mostly my experience with my Twitter friends. Well, there was this one time that I pointed out that Hanya Taiga's original name were meant to be Barato Taiga. So yeah, I posted that on Twitter, and one of my friends just pointed out art as in Japanese it usually means roses, but it kind of evolved into a some sort of subgenre of art, which basically very buff muscular man. So yeah, my friend pointed that out and like, hey, buff tiger. And after that, it kind of spirals down everywhere. And like, it's such a confusing. I love seeing people being so confused about who is Buff Tiger, what is Buff Tiger, and I was like, on my looking at my phone screen and just I can't. It's such a good moment, and that's also how I met Newt. It's all because of Buff Tiger I met Newt. So hey, thank you Buff Tiger for introducing me to Newt. I love you, Dad. All right, the last one. The last one from the one person, not the last question. What's your ideal type of story or game? Like one with a happy ending, except one. How about the protagonist with involved superpowers? Would the antagonist be a physical person or natural concept? Would it have any sort of message about humanity or just be for fun? And I got cut off again because of my phone. So yeah, continuing from that, my ideal kind of story is something that has the right balance of both dark, gloomy, and comical and fun. Like one example, it's not the most perfect story there is, but one of my favorite story is from Camilla the X8. Well, I'm a bit biased here, so there's that. But yeah, X8 have this kind of so like it can be serious, dark, and gloomy at times, but at the same time, it can be fun and dumb and also enjoyable, comically, also comicals. Like as long as those things are in balance, I wouldn't don't I like really like that. As long as those two things are in balance, and if it's some, I do like story that are just dumb fun as well, like Camino Force. It's mostly about a guy who wants to befriend everyone in his school. Like it's very episodic and like it's very wholesome and great to watch and fun to watch. I mean, like how do I explain this? Gentaro is such a good boy. He just wants to be friends with everyone. And there's also space. Space is involved. It's one of the show's theme, and yeah, the show can also get dark and gloomy at some point. But for most of the time, Coming of Force is just an enjoyable, fun show. That's the best I could give. As for protagonists, as long as they're enjoyable, that's all good. I do like protagonists who are not just naive and stupid, and I also really like protagonists who are kind of have this huge ego in them, but at the same time they're not really they're not a jerk. They're like a good guy, what just with a huge ego. Like Kiryu Santo from Conquer the Build, he's fun. Alright, so that was a long while. So yeah, here's the actual last question from Gami. What is one of your favorite childhood memories? Childhood memories. Well, excuse me. I don't know. I can't remember things much from like a few years back. But one of the fondest memory I had is good. What is I don't know. Well, probably hanging out with my family during Christmas Eve or New Year's. That's usually have the fondest memory of, because December is my favorite month. It has my birthday, it's Christmas, it's New Year's Eve, and also school break. It's such a good month. All right, last one. What is something you're looking forward to? Well, I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I got cut off again, so sorry about that. So yeah, I really don't know what I look forward in the future. So it's usually just the kind of things that I just say, let's just wait and see. So yeah, I really don't know. And with that, all the question has been answered. I'm sorry if this took very, very, very long for me to actually start doing some work to it, because hey, I procrastinate a lot. You people should really know how I feel about that procrastination. Like, since how long is it? For like at I think 4 months. Yeah, it's 4 months of procrastination. So I'm very sorry about that for the long wait. But I really hope that this makes up for the wait, because and yeah, the way I talk is very awkward. I'm not really a camera person, so I get a bit anxious about, not anxious, maybe uh tense or awkward. I don't know what's the word. I really don't know. It just, well, awkward might be the best way of saying it. So yeah, I might be a bit awkward here. So yeah, but I really hope y'all um take the answers. So yeah, if you want me to be more clear, because I really hope y'all could hear me saying, I mean, could understand me. So yeah, if you just want to understand me a bit more, you could just direct message me on Twitter. So yeah, with that, goodbye, my friends.